Hello, traders. Happy J.R.R. Tolkien Day. Funny enough, I just looked it up, and it's also Humiliation Day, and that's kind of fitting for what I'm feeling in the market today. I just finished up my recap. Today is day two of the trading trail. Kind of excited to get into it. It's January 3rd, and the second market day of the entire year so far of 2025. And I don't have much to show for it, unfortunately. Kind of been a roller coaster day. I definitely had better entries and exits than yesterday, but I just had one big mistake that gave away all of the profit that I made on the day. So I started off very strong in the first few trades. I actually ended up locking in about $400 of profit, and that was on ONCO and TGL. Those were the bigger trades. TGL, I also tried to play NITO early, but unfortunately, right about here, right at 8 in the morning, I had to walk away. And NITO, this one was the biggest winner of the day. I mean, I could have banked some real money if only I stayed focused for this area. And I knew I had this level placed beforehand. I even screenshotted it because I was kind of upset at myself for playing it so early. I was expecting a little pop from VWAP, maybe getting up to test that 163 resistance. And unfortunately, that didn't end up happening this early in the morning. And even earlier in the morning, I was already kind of calling out. I tried it way too early. Kind of need to let it set up and form this downtrend first. And then had a feeling a break of this downtrend was going to be the juicy part. But unfortunately, morning got pretty busy and I got distracted. And I knew should have kept focus on that 145 break. And this stock ended up going up. I think it was about 300% by the end of the day. So absolutely phenomenal move. Now, unfortunately, this is where I really got sloppy on the day. I saw SCPX and I got way too excited on it. Even though I made about $400 this morning, I gave almost all of it back because I got lazy, sloppy, and whatever you might want to call it. I mean, it's kind of fitting that today is, I think it was National Humiliation Day. So kind of fitting because I should know better. I really should know better than to kind of FOMO into some action like this. Like, this is pure greed, what I was thinking here. Now, the thought process that I was thinking in the moment was I identified this key 72 level from this area right here and this 50 EMA on the daily. Some of my favorite plays in at all are moves from the 50 EMA all the way up to the 90 EMA. And if the 90 EMA breaks, it also shows room sometimes to the 200 EMA. Now, it's not like we're going to see a penny stock go all the way up to $20 today. That's so unrealistic. So you can't set your expectations that high, or you'll get punished. But what I was more excited about was this room to run on the daily chart from this gap right here. And I saw this break of 109 here would show room to 175. And this would be a crazy move if I was able to capture it. And my thought process was, since I'm already up about $400 on the day, I can give this trade a little bit more breathing room because I have to walk away soon. That's not the right approach I should be taking. I mean, every single trade needs the same amount of attention. And SCPX, I mean, this is just pure greed. Like, I can't believe that I put myself in this position here. Now, my thought process was, since we have this 72 level placed from the daily chart, I can throw in shares anywhere in here. Then, as long as the 72 level holds, we should get that reaction a little bit higher. Now, unfortunately, what happens is it starts to dip out. And now I was lucky enough for it to reclaim. I should have gotten out with profit right there. I mean, I got lucky. I shouldn't have even bought in right here. But next time, I need to make sure I walk away with profit. I mean, this got me back $400 in the green. Now I'm finishing the day. Not too bad, not in a bad position. I'm only down $6 on the day. I can't be too upset about that. But what I am upset is giving away 100% of my profit that I was up, and this greed right here. I was thinking 72 level hold, great. That means I'm in a perfect position for this larger run if it were to happen. Now, if I even went in with the idea that okay, 72 level needs to hold for this quick little pop through. Now, I identified that we were going to find some bigger resistance here and at the $1.09 because the $1.09 is the start of the gap. I should have waited for the consolidated setup for the push through a $1.09. The fact that I tried to catch it so early is just pure unadulterated greed. I mean, it's sloppy trading. It's the definition of overconfidence when doing something like this. Now, what I'm also upset about is if taking a trade up here, fine, okay, it's a little aggressive, but I understand it. Like, there's sometimes it could show room, like it could just blow past all of these levels and can kind of continue going up if we're on the front side. I thought I was trading on the front side here. Turns out I absolutely wasn't. And then we started to fade and stair step down. Now, going into this trade, having the idea of cutting if the 72 level fails, that's great. I didn't honor it though. And that's what I'm more upset about. Because I went into this trade and I got in about right here on some of these dips. And then we actually got the stronger reaction through it. So I was actually in profit right about here and I didn't take any off the table. Now, at the same time, getting in here with a fail of this level is kind of a decent idea. The fact that I don't respect it and hold through it is just pure greed. Thinking a move like that is going to happen is just unrealistic. So this is definitely um, a reminder to myself that just because I've made some money on the day does not mean I can give extra trades more breathing room. That shouldn't be allowed by any means. A better trader would absolutely keep every single trade as tight as the first. So the fact that I was like, you know what, I'm already green on the day. I can hold through a minus 10% drawdown with smaller size. Well, it wasn't smaller size, buddy, because you went in three times. So I tripled my position right here, and I still held, which just absolute. Now later on in the day, what ended up happening on this stock is it started failing. I think it failed all the way to the 200 on the one, so it was probably around right there. So kind of stair step down. And after it stair step down, later on at market open, it makes a push back up to this 82 level and then hard rejects and starts to fade out. So technically, if I held through a minus 30% drawdown, I could have exited the trade green. Yeah, hell, absolutely no way I should be doing that in the first place. So the fact that I even kept this area so loose and didn't keep it as tight, that's what I'm more upset about. Because I was literally thinking, I'm already up $400, so this trade, I mean, it's showing so much room on the daily to run. If it gets into this gap, I'll make out like a bandit. Where that is technically true, but I should have just been more patient to see the setup form at the 109. There was no setup to form at the 109. So trying to trade it on the front side without a consolidated setup, it's just not my wheelhouse. Not my wheelhouse, because there were absolutely opportunities to kind of walk away with profit here. At the first time I averaged, so like profit here, that entire area, and then I just held for it to come all the way back down, and I ended up paying a price on it. So on this one trade, I basically ended up losing $400, which means I'm flat on the day. So kind of interesting. I do really wish I kept more focus on NITO. This is the chart on NITO. So shortly after market open, oh wait, let's go to the right day here. So here we go. So I tried to catch it for this little pop from VWAP, and I had the 142 level placed from this high right here. And I was thinking if we can break this high and start holding above VWAP, we should get that reaction a little bit higher. And we do get a nice little pop from VWAP, but unfortunately VWAP fails shortly after that. So Again, I think I had the right idea. Just right when VWAP fails, like this was basically a break-even trade for me. So right when VWAP fails, I just wish I kept focus for it the second I noticed it was holding above our 120 level, because we have 120 placed from this move yesterday, and after hours. Yep. And then kind of holds and maintains that 120 level. So if you zoom out a little bit, we see this nice break and hold of the $1.20 level. And that's actually kind of the confirmation that this high is starting to hold up. So we should start to stair step upwards. Now, the better entry on this one would have been from VWAP. Again, I think it was really to take it from the 145. 145 here would have been the best entry, because we know if we take out this area, we should be able to test 150 at the least. We want to start taking out some of these highs, and that's exactly what happens. We take out both of these highs one after another, and then a break of one area shows room to the next. Break of 160, the 160 would to 163 area, breaks above, holds above, and then just follows the 10 on the 1 all the way up. So this is something that I really want to start doing. Is I need to start limiting how many buttons I press. I have a very big habit of over trading. So if we just zoom in on my biggest winner today, TGL. I mean, this one, I was up over $453 in profit just in this one trade. And I've basically got nothing to show for it. I'm down $6.51 because I made so many mistakes on SCPX. That was really the big thing. But I should have been able to lock in more profit on this one, quite honestly, because right when it starts to break above this 53, take some profit off the table right here. And then as it's pulling back and I see that it's holding the 10 EMA on the 1, I added back to my position here. I think that's perfectly fine. But right when we get that other extension upwards, I should be taking only half off the top, not selling about 75% of my position. If I took half off the top right here, and then as long as my right when the 10 EMA on the 1 starts to climb up above my average position, then that's when I just hold the rest of the position until the red line fails. And if we look back to the chart, this red line basically doesn't fail until about $2.11. So I would have sold half my position on this first move down here, right into profits. Wait, no, let's get on the right chart here. What was it? TGL? Here we go. All right. So as we can see, we're on the 1 minute chart, the 10 EMA on the 1. We get that first pop into profits from here. So I should have taken another half off the table right here after adding to my position. And then just waited for the 10-1 to fail. 10-1 never fails here. So like why I'm scaling out of my position this much is just crazy to me. So I should have been able to hold at least half of my position for this larger move. And then I do end up fully closing the position up here. So I scaled out 50% here, 50% here, 50%. So I'm down to like 1/16th of a position or something by this point. So it's like, that's, again, profit is profit. But I think I really should have been in a little bit more green on this one trade, especially with how perfect it came out to be. Because like I had focused on all the right levels, played the 57 perfectly, knew that the 62 level was placed beforehand. Break and hold of 62 shows room to 70. Break and hold of 70 shows room to the next 80. Next one is 85. Next one is 90. I had all of these levels placed beforehand, so I knew that there was definitely some room to run if it started to get that attention, and it certainly did. I mean, look at this. A break of 50 showed room right to the 90, which was 79. So right in line with our 80 level. I mean, near perfect execution on trade. I just wish I kind of had a better mentality with trailing my stop there. So uh, overall, sitting about $6 in the red today. Not too big of a problem. We'll be back at it on Monday. Definitely learned a few lessons. Getting this sloppy on a day where I'm already like that's a phenomenal day, So I should have been happy with my profit right here. And the second that I like even got in a 50% drawdown on my P&L that day, I need to kind of build up the courage again to just walk away from the monitor. So definitely a learning experience. This example of greed, I cannot do that again. I'm really glad that I was able to like capture this moment and screenshot it because even in the moment, I knew I was doing something wrong. I could tell, I knew that I had a feeling SCPX was going to dip out a little bit more. And the fact that I was putting so much pressure on that trade because I'm trading with settled funds and in a cash account, this might have been my last trade of the day. The fact that I just FOMO in with greed right here and I'm like, oh, it's showing room on the daily, it should go, it does not make sense. Does not make sense in the slightest. So definitely going to reevaluate what I did today. Glad I got everything recorded basically. And then we'll be back at it on Monday. So not too bad of a day. Only $6.51. Have yet to have a really strong green day this year, but I know they're around the corner. I just got to find them. And I got to build up the confidence to just walk away and let stuff go without me. Like ONCO, another example. Basically break even trade, but FOMO'd in for the 116 break. I was just late on it. I should have had focus on it when it was breaking the downtrend. So I quickly try and pull up the chart, and then I'm FOMOing in with a 120 average on a 116 break. I should not be doing that. If it's already at 120, I need to let it come back down to my 116 break, or just let it go on without me. There's going to be another trade, and I'm aware of that. So we'll be back at it on Monday. I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Happy JRR Tolkien Day. And adios, guys. Happy trading trail.